All right. Here we are. Who is going to take the first question? Priyanka.
Okay. In RESTful APIs, there are multiple endpoints to access different resources. True? Okay, so we need false. Okay, so this we are not checking. Then in GraphQL, there is only a single entry point in general. Well, that is also false. I mean, that is no. Acha, GraphQL is only a single entry point, is it?
Hmm.
GraphQL fixes the issue over fetching the data. Yeah, this is correct. So not checking. Both REST API and GraphQL can request only a single resource with a single request.
I think
Um,
graph will go ahead.
yeah, so with a single resource, no, GraphQL, no. GraphQL can actually work with multiple resources, correct? So this is sort of false. So this is not true. But I'm not sure about C. No, sorry, B. Why is that true? Entry point in general.
Someone
So
was about to talk. Yes, she was about to talk, I think.
Uh,
Yeah,
These
you wanted to.
false because entry point. Oh, sorry, I thought it is endpoint. No, I don't know the entry point actually. What is entry point? You know?
Just take that now. Entry point. I'm not sure, but I think a single GraphQL query. I mean, it's a query, right? GraphQL is a query, right?
yeah,
So, and I
Yes.
think it's gonna query from many different resources, right?
correct.
So I think that's what it is. Only it's not a single entry point. You can enter into several things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that okay, guys?
So it is written like there is only a single entry point in general. So that
Hmm.
means this statement is true.
Correct.
So it has only single entry point. So you said it can have multiple.
Hey, just discuss it. I'll come back in a minute.
Is entry point is this only that, but that may be true for anything, no? That you are uh, like giving a single query. Yeah, so you enter from a single point. Should we understand it like that? But that might be true for anything, no? Actually,
Uh, yeah. So they are saying the false statements, and there is only a single entry point is a false statement.
no, that's a true statement. So we are not checking it, no?
Yeah, yeah, I
Not
will write
giving
true.
the answer.
So while I was doing this API thing in Postman last time, so we need to set a base URL, and after setting that base URL, we just need to give some inputs and things will come out. So maybe they are referring that as a single entry point.
No, that's what I was telling you. That probably is true for anything. No? That unless until you have a single entry point, you will not know what to do. No?
Can't really say for everything because this is quite wide and complex field, the programming and all.
Hmm.
But till today, I guess yes, what we have studied.
Yeah.
Can you repeat by what logic are you trying to say? Like there is only single entry point.
Ayush, I was thinking while we were trying to test our API in Postman, so we have used a base URL and we put our website into it and then just gave some uh, endpoints or values and then retrieve the output. So I guess maybe in that context they are saying there is a single entry point in general.
Okay, got it. Like they give some API link and we can entry from that only
Yeah,
to our app. Okay.
maybe. Be sure I'll have to see the lectures.
Okay, what it's telling you, just I will read. What it says, the API entry points are the only parts of the API with well known URLs. They provide API descriptions which contain information about the API, the available functionality, and the URLs to access it. So I think what they are trying to say is that, like for example, in Flask also, when we once we make multiple like sort of endpoints, we can actually access those, by the URLs also. So what you are doing if you are entering into a API, you can actually enter via, like for example, if I'm accessing Google, I may do like google.com, which will take me to the base this thing. But I can also do, google.com/meet, probably whatever. So then, I can enter into google.com, from another URL also. So it does have multiple entry points. So probably for GraphQL, this is not true.
But here it is true.
Then
No, it must be only for
then
GraphQL then. GraphQL. We'll have to check what GraphQL says.
Has anybody seen the Weekend lectures yet?
देखा है Yash, but really
Okay.
not remembering much actually. Yeah. And GraphQL, he has spoken very little about GraphQL.
Exactly. That's the problem.
He has spoken, I think, maybe a maximum couple of sentences about GraphQL.
So yet again we have given the link. We need to read it out ourselves.
Fine. It's okay. It's okay. Like we'll move forward. So the point we are taking is GraphQL is having only one entry point. That's true, right?
Yes,
Hmm. And D option is wrong.
correct. Because you can have multiple resources for GraphQL at least.
Mhm.
For REST API, may or may not be true, but for true.
Okay. Yeah. Continue with this.
Okay, so which are again false, yeah. Which following statements are false regarding REST and GraphQL, yeah.
Hmm.
GraphQL can fetch the data from multiple resources and return the fused response. This is true. So we are not
Hmm.
checking this. In REST, the GET requests are not cacheable in general. No, no.
But they are cacheable, right?
GET requests are the requests that are cacheable. In fact, that are the,
Hmm.
yeah.
Correct.
And in GraphQL, the post requests are cacheable in general. But what I've understood that it's only the GET requests that are cacheable.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
probably this is because ulta, so this is also false. GraphQL can execute a complex query to return a complex data set with single request, whereas REST APIs may require to make this is true. So this was straightforward. I think B and C are the options that we should, that are false, and we have to
Hmm.
check those.
Yeah. Is that okay for others?
Yes.
Any doubts
But
here?
it is not the answer.
Which one?
The answer is B and C.
Ah, that's what she told.
She told na B and D are false.
No, no, she told B and C are false. She told no,
Yeah, yeah,
only D option is
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's what.
Okay, okay. I somewhere from somewhere I got to know like it is C. She told B and C.
No, no, it's not the case.
B
All
and
right.
D. No. Okay.
Mhm. Fine. Again, so which of the methods is cacheable? Aish, Kutta. Now only you
Get.
can use get request, right? Only get requests are cacheable.
Get.
None of the other are cacheable. Okay. Which of the
Can
following
we
is
read the
true?
last line?
Which one? This? This one, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's read the whole thing now. What's the problem? The request is generally
Okay,
cacheable when the response can be constructed with just seeing the URL. Okay, first thing is that if you want to cache it, you just need the URL, not the body and all.
okay.
Okay, the reason for GET request being cacheable is that GET request has all the required data in the URL. However, POST and PUT request has data in the request body which is not cacheable in general. Got the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ashwita, can you do the next one also?
Which of the following statements is true? A post
Hmm?
GraphQL request with a content type header as application GraphQL need not always have the request body content as GraphQL query string.
I don't
Okay, I
know.
am repeating. I am repeating.
Hmm.
A post GraphQL request with content type header as application GraphQL need not always have the request body content as GraphQL string query string.
Okay, so this option is false. Okay, let's see. Let's read why. Can be constructed with content type mm, header value as both blah blah, but the body content should match with the header value. Hmm.
Okay, a post GraphQL query request can also be made with a JSON body content. Okay,
Yeah, that's okay, right? I mean,
yeah, 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 yeah.
that's request.
Understood.
Hmm.
The response to the GraphQL request is a JSON response with the result stored in the data field.
Now this is lightly making sense. Like this is kind of request. The response. So there will be some field called as data, wherein we'll get the response. I think. Are getting something here? No. All right, let's go back there. Let's go back. Yeah. Yeah, response is a
Okay,
JSON. Hmm?
we can assume that when we will learn about more about GraphQL, when we will having practical knowledge, then we can only learn this.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have any practical knowledge on GraphQL. Hmm. Okay, Ishita.
Yeah. So, which of the following statements is are false?
Hmm.
Is all the responses to the GraphQL requests should return 200 as the status code in general. Okay.
Not necessarily, which means
Status code 200.
it's always success.
Okay. Yeah, I think it should return that. There is no other endpoint.
Once again, okay, let's read this. An endpoint in REST API should return an appropriate status code with the response, and it need not be 200 always. So they're just talking about C option. So seems like this option is true, right, guys?
Should return 200. In general, it's saying.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Fine.
Okay. Uh, and then a get request cannot be made in GraphQL and it must always send post request. No, it's there. This option is wrong.
Correct. We just saw some time
And
back.
yeah, and all the endpoints in RESTful API should return 200 as the status code.
No, right?
Oh, I don't know what status codes are returned in REST and RESTful API. No, sorry, GraphQL and RESTful API.
Okay. In REST API, we can return a different status code, right? 404,
Yeah, yeah.
those kind of things. Okay.
Huh.
But in GraphQL, it's not going to be 404. Like, it's like whenever you get a response, it's going to be 200. Like inside the response, the data will be nothing, empty.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Something
Huh,
like that.
got it.
Hmm.
Got it.
So here, C option is all the endpoints in REST API should return 200 as the status code, which is not the case.
It can return any other status code also.
Correct.
So B and C are incorrect.
Yes. So they are given something. Whatever. Hmm. So, Ashkoil, can you do this?
Yeah, Google.
Hmm.
Which of the following statement is are true? Web component allow us to create custom HTML elements. Yeah, it allows us.
What
And
is a web component?
yeah, I think the web component only we use to make the websites only. I think.
In Vue, we are having some components. Is there what it is? Something like just the way components in Vue work. They are given like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The web page we makes.
Yeah, that's right. Can create custom HTML elements.
Yeah,
We
we can.
saw that. Hmm.
But that component was used to individualize the different user, no?
Different user? What?
Like for say, matlab different users, the UI should appear in the same way, response accordingly. Like for a
Okay.
component, mm, that is why we
No.
used component, na?
Is that the reason? I don't think so.
Okay, we can go ahead. I,
So what you're saying is that different users will have different selections. I mean, whatever, right? So, and I feel that web components are, um, what we had custom tags, if you remember, right?
okay, yeah,
Okay, I mean the HTML tags, they were custom, right? Means we can create our own tags with Vue. Do you
yeah,
know
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
So I think that is what is they're talking about here. We create custom HTML
Okay,
elements
okay, okay. Then it is right. Then it is right.
can be used to create custom HTML tags or elements, just the way component in Vue works. So and yeah,
Okay,
anyhow, each component is gonna have their can have their specific styling, right?
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is not applied to other parts of the web page. Okay.
Okay, now
Fine.
can I continue?
Yeah, Aish, go
H-
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, HTML markup is more verbose than markdown language.
So, what does verbose mean?
Uh, we have studied about HTML is verbose, but I don't know. But what is markdown language also?
No, can someone tell me what is verbose? I can talk about Markdown.
Verbose means lot of more words. It has more words.
Okay. Fine. So, Markdown is something like this. If you guys remember, are you able to see this?
Yeah.
Hmm. So, do you have you seen similar kind of things?
Yeah, like in GitHub also we see the .md files.
Exactly. The MD files are basically MD is Markdown, simple, nothing else. Okay. So, and why do we say that HTML is more verbose than Markdown language? And this is true. Okay. So, verbose means which has inline styling in general. Okay. How do I talk about this?
Actually, which requires more words to express the meaning in general.
Yeah, HTML needs more words, right? In Markdown, all the styling is happening as a like single line, inline styling in general.
Okay.
Okay. For every line you need to give whatever you are supposed to give.
Like Markdown is also more human readable than HTML.
Correct. But Markdown is not aesthetically pleasing, right? I mean, like what? It's just not. I mean, HTML can be more attractive, right?
Yeah, it is organized. HTML is organized, I could say.
Hmm. But this is just human readable, you can say. Okay. So let's take it like that. So HTML is more verbose. I mean, has more words to use for styling also. I think, right?
Okay.
Right. Okay. So see, I'll just show you an example. Okay. So I was just creating a markdown. So at the end, I'm gonna create something. See, if I put a hash and if I type Gokul, okay. So just a single hash will give me like this. Okay. So all these are inline styling. So if I give, double hash mad 2, save it. See, this is how it will look like. Triple hash, blah blah. I mean, the h1, h2 tags are there, right? Okay. What happens suddenly? Hmm, I don't know what happens suddenly.
See, it's the same thing. No, now you have written Gokul with only a hash. And if suppose you have to write in the HTML, what you will write? You will write tags H1 and then
Correct.
Gokul and then slash and H1. So you see, you have put in lot many more words to imply the same thing. So it
Hmm.
is becoming more verbose. So
Yeah.
for the same thing, you are using lot many more words.
Hmm. That's correct. So HTML is using more words than markup, right? That's what it is all about.
Correct, only that much.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now the
And
option
yeah,
markdown content has inline styling in general. Now we have
yeah.
studied on.
Just
Yeah.
now we saw it, right? Here,
Yeah.
which has inline styling in general. Hmm.
Yeah. A web component can have a scoped styling.
Hmm.
What's the meaning of that?
Uh, you know what is a scope, right? I mean, you know what is scope, right? Do you know?
Yeah, scope we have seen, no, whatever, like for
inside
example,
the.
we give a div, yeah. So the
Hmm.
whatever is inside that div, you can apply that styling, to a whole lot more things,
Hmm.
uh, you know, as compared to inline styling, yeah. So,
Correct.
so that is what. So for whatever is within the scope of that div, you can apply the whole styling to that. So
Hmm.
that is what I think it is intended by this sentence.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So fine. Like even in web components, we can have separate div, right, and give the inline styling for the web component also. Scoped styling.
Correct, but we can, no? Can. He's only
That's what
asking
we
for
can. They're asking about can have scope styling. Yes, we can. For few lines, you can have it as H2 tags, and then for the next few lines, we can have it like H4 tags or something like that. So means scope of that H1 is going to be within the whatever you're putting inside, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, you want to say something, Ayush Gupta?
No.
You guys have any comments? No. Okay. So Yash, can you take this question? Let's see.
I think Yash is not there.
Okay.
I'll take, yeah. I am the only one there, or somebody is left. Ayush Gupta has taken.
Yeah, Preka, go ahead.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead. Go ahead. It's okay, fine.
okay. So we have to write about what is true, these statements true about GraphQL.
Hmm.
Mutations in GraphQL can be used to change the underlying data store. GraphQL services are created by defining types and fields for those types, then providing functions for each field. GraphQL can only fetch data from a single source. Okay,
This is wrong.
so at
C
least
option
C
is
we
wrong.
know is directly wrong, yeah.
Hmm.
So then GraphQL allows only get operations. This is true. So
Hmm. Is it so?
it allows post also. Oh, sorry, sorry.
Yes.
No, sorry, sorry. Ulta. GraphQL I think allows only post because you have to get the data. So get is
Get
what
is also there, right, in GraphQL?
is it there? I had
Yeah,
a feeling it
yeah,
was
yeah.
only post.
No, we saw it, right? Hmm. See. So to make a GraphQL request, being using the post H3, we request the following properties. Okay, so
Correct. This
which
is
means
post.
like post is possible.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
look at this request using get method. Get method is also possible.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
So that means allows only get is wrong. Yeah, we can do with Y post also. So
Yes.
that means C and D are totally ruled out. Now let us see A and B. Yeah,
Mhm.
mutations in GraphQL can be used to change the underlying data store.
Hmm.
Uh, this I'm not sure.
See query and mutation type. So we have something called as mutation.
Yeah.
Every GraphQL service has a query type and may or may not have a mutation type. Okay. Mutation work in a similar way. You define the fields on the mutation types, and those are available. Blah 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 blah. You could input object type in a mutation. Okay. However, it is useful to establish a convention that any operation that causes write should be sent to explicitly via mutation. Yeah, same. We have seen this, right, Priyanka?
Which one? Now this is, however, it's useful to establish a convention that any operations that cause writes should be sent explicitly via a mutation.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So if
Okay.
you want to write something through GraphQL, we need to use it called via mutation. See, change the underlying data store.
What do you mean underlying data store? Acha, whatever it will give, is it? Okay. Hmm.
But yeah, that is what we are changing the data store, right?
Okay. So GraphQL services are created by defining types and fields for those types, then providing functions for each field.
I think this is something which we need to take it.
Yeah, this is okay, I guess. Yeah.
Mhm.
Types and fields for those types, then providing functions for each. I think this is similar to what we do in Vue and all that, no? You define
Mhm.
the type and this thing.
Yeah. So if you see in the starting, okay, fine. I think so. We
Sure.
define the types and fields for those types,
Yeah.
then providing functions for each field type.
Hmm.
Fine. Aish Gupta, can you do this question?
They
Yes.
hardly taught
So
one
which of
sentence
the
about GraphQL and they're asking the whole thing on GraphQL.
Go ahead, Aish.
mm, yeah, which of the following statement is or are true regarding GraphQL? It is a
Hmm.
query language for APIs. Yeah, it is
Hmm.
true. It is a client-side runtime. It is
No,
a
right?
client-side runtime. What does that statement even mean?
Okay, client side means the user side, first thing.
Runtime, what does that mean here?
So I think, does anyone have any comment on this? Aish, are you here? See, yes, are you here?
Yes, Gokul.
Yeah, Priyanka, you have any comment on this? Client
Go-
side
go-
runtime?
Okay, it's only a guesswork on my part, but I believe it could be that runtime error, you know. So whether you can check at the client side that you have made any mistake. Yeah. So probably you can't. I mean, you can make while you're writing the program, but once you have put the query properly, I think it's not on runtime. Like in the sense, client side you can't do much. Whatever time and whatever everything it will take on the server side only.
Yeah, that's what they are putting in here also. Can be thought as a layer on the server side through which we can make complex queries. Aish,
Yeah, it is.
it's basically a server sided. It's more
Yeah, yeah,
oriented towards server side than client side. Okay.
yeah,
Literally, we
yeah.
have not
It is
used
not
GraphQL at all. Then how can we even say about all these things, right?
comments about this.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is not tied to any specific database or storage engine.
That's true, right?
Yeah, it is. Then it is
But
tied
in
with
our REST
like
API, it is tied to a single database, if you remember.
yeah.
Hmm?
We
So
create
one
ORM.
db.sqlite or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, you were saying something?
Okay. I was saying like we were creating ORM there and then connecting DB that
But
DB.
that is connecting to only one particular DB.
Yeah. So we
Okay,
have now fourth point is it usually sends complex queries over the post body of the HTTP request.
which is true.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, when we need to get fetch the data, we need to request the complex queries
Hmm.
in the post via post method.
Yeah, and we pass it over body, right?
Yeah.
Is that fine? Ishita,
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
go ahead here.
Okay. What is the main idea behind the headless CMS? So the content repository
One second.
is
What is a headless CMS? Do you guys know?
Yeah, like headless CMS, that I don't know.
Okay. So what is headless? You know about that?
mm,
Yeah, that like if we have an HTML page, it doesn't contain any head part,
Bro.
head
No,
tags.
no, no, no. No, no. Okay. So what does decoupled mean? Again, can someone tell?
What is what? I'm sorry.
Decouple. What is the meaning for decouple?
Decouple is to separate from.
Separate.
Yeah, separate.
Okay. So headless CMS means you won't have the front end.
okay.
Okay. Having no headless software is work with devices without a graphical user interface.
Okay.
We import graphical interview user interface, I think.
Sorry?
Do we import graphical user interface in this
No, it's not
there?
importing. If you see, for example, um, we have Ubuntu, right?
Yeah.
Hmm? Sometimes, Ubuntu WSL. Okay, we have a GUI. So, but it's not required to have a GUI. ELS, right? So, and by double clicking, you are not able to do it. You're not able to open it, right? For everything, it's going
Hmm.
to be command, right?
Yeah.
PWD. So everything is going to be a command. So this is called as headless mode and cat whatever package or JSON or whatever. So let me do rough.py. So obviously we are having a monitor, okay, but it is not a user interface. Like it's not a UI, right? I mean the UI is very limited. All these things are being commanded, correct?
Yeah. True.
Mm.
Hmm. So if I'm able to do these kind of things in a monitor and able to see what is happening, so I can just write a script, and that script I can copy it and put it into a just a chip or something. It will keep on executing. You don't need to have a GUI, right? But it will do the work.
Yeah, like we do in requirements.txt.
Okay, what is that? Ha. You are
Mm,
exactly right. So you put everything inside of the requirements.txt and just one command you give, which is pip install hyphen r, other things. Requirement.txt, and it does all the work, installing all the requirements, correct?
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. So this is called as headless, means no graphical user interface. See, receives inputs and provides output through other interfaces like network or serial ports and in and is common on servers and embedded devices. Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
So headless
So
CMS means, huh?
yeah. The content repository is separated or decoupled from the presentation layer. So yeah, this is true.
Presentation layer we are not using it, right, for the
We are
headless.
not using it. Yeah. And the content is delivered via the APIs.
Hmm.
It is true for the CMS, content management system only.
Correct.
And it helps in easier scalability.
Hmm.
What does this mean? Uh,
So the thing is, what I can feel is that so the content is being delivered via API. First thing,
uh,
right? Which means only
uh,
the content will come, not the HTML.
okay.
Okay. So if you're just getting the JSON or something like that, okay, and see you can, it's just letters, right? It's not a file.
Hmm.
So you can, I mean, more people can use the server. Means you just need to send little data as a response. Correct?
Okay, got it.
Hmm. And
Yeah, and then CMS cannot use REST APIs. This is not true. It can use REST APIs as well as the RESTful API.
mm-hmm.
So A, B, C.
Used to access. Yeah. Is that fine for all? That should be okay, guys. Fine. Last question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who wanna do this? Yes, sorry here. I don't know if he's here. Go ahead. Whoever wanna do this.
Okay, I think this is pretty straightforward. Now, most commonly used representation for resource in web APIs is JSON.
Yeah. That's right. That's simple. So XML, if you guys wanted to know, earlier was developed with XML. See, XML and Android.
Okay.
Okay, extensive. It's called extensive markup language, which is a way of describing data used in just like how we have HTML, right? So in Android, it was something like XML. Now it has literally changed. So many things are changed. Okay, see, scroll view, relative layout, button, Android ID. Got the point? Are you able to see this?
Yes.
So they were extensively used in Android, but now not anymore. Okay, fine. So that is That is about XML. What is this WebP? I don't know what this WebP is. WebP is an image file format developed by Google intended as a replacement for JPEG. Mhm. So they are saying that most commonly used representation for resources in Web API. Obviously, it's not WebP. It's not a picture, right? And W of okay, web open font format used in web pages. This is also not the case. I think it's okay, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. So let me
Yeah.
stop the recording.